What is up, you freaky folks? My name is Nick, and welcome to my channel, where I cover all things horror. Whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about. And it's night number 7 in my 13 Nights of Halloween special. I'm taking a look at 13 movies that I like to watch to get in the Halloween spirit, and hopefully they'll do the same for you. And tonight we gotta be talking about something fun, because sometimes you just need something fun. Night of the Demons is a supernatural slasher from the late 1980s. It's about a bunch of 20-something teenagers who head to a spooky old funeral home for a Halloween party. Once there, they do the number one thing that you don't do, and that's hold a seance where they conjure demonic entities that begin possessing them one by one. Now listen, this is about as basic as it gets. It's a slasher running purely on the 80s aesthetic and Halloween vibes. If that doesn't sound fun to you, you will not like this movie. If you can get into it, Night of the Demons is the perfect cheesy Halloween party movie, and it might be a little all over the place and messy, but the fun is consistent throughout. The movie begins with a spooky animated title sequence that I get a massive kick out of. We're then introduced to our first characters driving around in a car with a jack-o'-lantern on top of it. That's fun. They're on their way to a party, but we'll get to that, because we've got an old man to meet, and he's looking to put razor blades in the apples for kids. What a guy. He bumps into Judy, who unfortunately is our heroine. I'll have more to say about Judy later, but she goes home and gets into her Halloween costume. She's Alice from Alice in Wonderland, solid choice. She's picked up by her date Jay, and they head to the Halloween party. Next, we meet up with Suzanne and Angela, who straight up rob a convenience store to supply their party. Angela is the weird girl who wants to freak out her classmates, and Suzanne is just boy crazy.
Relax, I just want to look good for the boys.
Everyone makes their way to creepy-ass Hull House where the party begins. I like that the slasher formula plays out in what looks like a haunted house because it mixes all of the horror fun. Hell Night is also good for that. This is where the movie drastically slows down as people party and decide to mess with the dark arts. Some wander about, some try to leave, some have sex in a coffin, no big deal. But Suzanne is the first one possessed, and she infects the others by being a hoe. It takes a good hour into this 90-minute movie to really get going, and a lot of weight is carried by the joys of bad acting and the charm of cheap Halloween decorations, although there are some legitimately funny moments.
Yeah, come on, spill the beans, eh? Here's a nice chunk of change to loosen your lips a little.
Are you kidding? Betray my beloved sister for a measly quarter? What do you think this is? Some kind of depression or something?
Once things do pop off, almost the entire group is slaughtered very quickly and turned into demons. And this isn't like a total gore fest, but there is a lot of gnarly work done on the demons, so it is a very practical effects heavy movie. And I of course can't show you the scene that this movie is known for, the lipstick scene, but if you need just a hint, a tube of lipstick goes where no tube of lipstick should ever go. So now we're left with Judy and Roger. Roger is an actually likable character. Judy is one of the worst final girls I've ever seen. So let's talk about Judy for a moment, because in the beginning, she's supposed to go to a Halloween dance with her date, but he convinces her to go to this creepy party instead. Like, if she had any sense, she wouldn't even be here. But okay, so she's at the party, and now of course she's dealing with a creep who is trying to take advantage of her. At least she gets rid of him, but then she becomes trapped in this room where she spends a good chunk of the movie while everyone dies. Roger actually has some common sense. He does not participate in that ritualistic bullshit. He's the first one out of the house, and he straight up Spider-Mans his way up a brick wall to escape. Honestly, all we need is Roger. Judy would be screwed without him, and this might be the only 80s horror film where a black dude actually survives, so I guess that's noteworthy. While Judy is mostly just lame, I have to talk about how bad the female characters are in this movie. Now, I like a lot of 80s horror, so I often find myself glossing over this bad stuff, but on this last rewatch, I just could not help but be so disappointed. The most interesting woman in the movie is Angela, who's who's made out to be a crazy person. Suzanne is just there to get naked. Franny is technically a character. And I completely forgot about Helen, whose name I couldn't even figure out without having the captions turned on. The only good thing about Judy is that she's a goody two-shoes who might not be a virgin, which I guess was edgy for 1988. Although I do have to say, she does take a hard fall from the top of the building. She wields a flamethrower, which is like the most badass thing anyone can do. And she climbs barbed wire, so she's not the worst. Honestly, Night of the Demons never really becomes exciting enough to earn its cult classic status, yet I love it anyway. The movie meanders around forever until finally getting to the good stuff, and by that point, it just kind of fizzles out and we're left with a whiny final girl who practically needs to be carried to the end of the movie. But the demons are super fun, and it has an atmosphere for days, from the suburban streets to the creepy old funeral home. It all feels like one big Halloween party. And I've mentioned before in my other videos, just having the characters in costume does a lot for me, and almost everyone is in costume, although I have no idea what the hell Suzanne is supposed to be.
Relax. I just want to look good for the boys.
While the ending does feel tacked on, the way it wraps back around to the old man asshole with the razor apples from the beginning solidifies this as a Halloween favorite for me.
There weren't as many trick-or-treaters last night, not like the good old days. I had to do something with all those leftover apples. I still can't understand why you buy so many. Happy Halloween, dear.
Night of the Demons is devoid of all substance, yet it has enough 80s horror Halloween vibes to keep it a favorite in my book for years to come. I'm gonna give Night of the Demons a 2.5 out of 5. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. It is so fun to hear what you guys think of these movies, and thank you so much for watching this 13 Nights of Halloween video. Tomorrow we'll be going over some found footage, so there's your warning. Until then, feel free to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss any creepy content. That's it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.